Deep in the heart of the Sahara Desert, there once existed a city that was spoken of in whispers across continents. A city so rich in knowledge that scholars traveled thousands of miles just to study within its walls. A city that became a symbol of learning, wealth, and culture in medieval Africa. This city was Timbuktu. But how did a remote desert settlement become one of the greatest centers of knowledge in the world, and why did its legacy fade from global memory? If you enjoy discovering powerful African history like this, make sure to subscribe, because here we uncover the forgotten cities, empires, and legends that shaped human civilization. Now let's continue. Long before it became famous, Timbuktu was a small trading settlement located near the Niger River. Its location was strategic, connecting trade routes across West Africa and the Sahara Desert. Caravans passed through the region carrying gold, salt, ivory, and textiles. At first, Timbuktu was simply a meeting point for traders. But everything was about to change. As trade increased, so did wealth and population. Merchants, scholars, and travelers from different regions began settling in Timbuktu. The city became a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and knowledge. Then came a turning point in history, the rise of the Mali Empire. Under the rule of powerful emperors like Mansa Musa, Timbuktu was transformed. Massive investments were made into education, architecture, and religion. Mosques were built, libraries were established, and scholars were invited from across the Islamic world. Timbuktu was no longer just a trading post. It had become a center of learning. At its peak, Timbuktu was home to thousands of students and scholars. They studied subjects such as mathematics, astronomy, law, medicine, literature, and Islamic studies. Books were highly valued, often considered more precious than gold. Entire libraries were filled with handwritten manuscripts. Knowledge was preserved, copied, and passed down through generations. In a time when many parts of the world struggled with limited access to education, Timbuktu stood as a beacon of intellectual achievement. Much of Timbuktu's rise is closely linked to Mansa Musa. During his pilgrimage to Mecca, he brought scholars and architects back to Mali. These individuals helped shape Timbuktu into a world-renowned center of knowledge. Under his influence, the city gained international recognition. For centuries, Timbuktu became a destination for those seeking wisdom. But like many great civilizations, change eventually came. After the decline of the Mali Empire, political instability began to affect the region. Control over trade routes weakened. External forces began to rise in power, and gradually Timbuktu's influence started to fade. As centuries passed, global attention shifted away from Timbuktu. European exploration of Africa later brought new narratives that often overlooked its intellectual legacy. Many of its manuscripts were lost, destroyed, or hidden to protect them. Yet, despite these challenges, the spirit of Timbuktu never completely disappeared. Today, Timbuktu remains one of the most powerful symbols of Africa's intellectual history. It challenges the idea that Africa's past was only about survival or conflict. Instead, it tells a deeper truth. Africa was once home to some of the greatest centers of knowledge in the world, and Timbuktu stands as one of its brightest examples. If this story inspired you, then you are witnessing just the beginning. Because next, we explore the great kingdom of Benin, one of Africa's most advanced and artistic civilizations. Subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter.